Three, two, one. One of the reasons we can't have nice things is nobody wants to go see Furiosa.
Yeah.
Go see the fucking movie, people. Please.
Yeah, I don't
And I guess
I don't
technically
understand that.
none of the Mad Max movies were like, I think the one with Tina Turner did big. But like
Yeah.
Road Warrior didn't.
No.
Mad Max didn't.
No. I mean, it did well for like an independent.
Well, that's
movie,
what I mean.
excuse me,
And then you
but-
had Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Was there one after Thunderdome?
No.
And then they rebooted it with Tom Hardy. I didn't reboot it. They just
Continued.
continued
Yeah.
the story with Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
And then gave us the beautiful, wonderful odyssey of Furiosa.
Right.
Go see the movie, people. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, it's really good.
I was gonna say, yeah. Where do you want to start with it?
So 2.5 hours is where I want to start. And it
It didn't feel like 2.5.
no.
No.
And like from the instant the movie starts until the end, you're just going, right, like, what the this is amazing.
Yeah.
I think he does a good job is like there's not too much dialogue except what needs to be said.
Yeah. No, he's very good at that.
You know,
He's always been good at that. Of like
Tom Hardy didn't speak damn near in that movie, and it was,
and even when he did, it was like short sentences.
yeah, it was
It's
more like of a grunt.
no, let's go this way.
Yeah.
No, let's go that way.
So, Anna Taylor-Joy.
Anya, I think it's Anna.
Anna,
Yeah, Anna Taylor-Joy.
who's British, of course she is.
Yeah.
She's really good at that. Like, all I've seen her in is, she's Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
Never saw it.
You should watch it. It's good.
But, historically, she's in these really weird horror movies, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Or she was in
The Witch, Split.
Yeah. She was in The Northman, remember?
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
Another, yeah. What else? I think she was recently in something that I
Well,
did.
Dune Part 2.
Yeah, for like a hiccup.
But she's still there. In utero and in
Right, because
visions.
she did have the lines. Like, that
Yeah.
was her. Fuck, I can't wait till Messiah. I'm about halfway through the book. And I watched part 2. Yep, I'm
Anyway,
stopping.
stay focused.
All right, stay focused. Furiosa. So, she's awesome.
Yeah, no, she's fantastic.
So they have 3. What did they call them? Super cities? Territories?
Yeah, or what? Yeah, but
Trading posts?
yeah, it's a network of sustainability, I guess is
The
best-
Citadel, which would be the capital, I guess, right?
Yeah. Which is also like the water center.
That's where the vegetables and shit.
Yeah.
And then you have
Gastown and
Bullet Farm,
yeah,
which is exactly what it is. It's
Yeah.
a fucking Bullet Farm. And then Gastown,
yeah,
which makes the gas. I guess Gastown's sister would have been Bartertown. That's in Thunderdome.
yeah.
Or Bartertown would have been a trading post, but it was making gas with the pigs. Doesn't matter. I just found it.
It seems to me too, like thinking about the grand scope of it, like this is a different section of the wasteland.
Right.
And and even from like the intros and stuff like that, it seems, in the George Miller centered universe, like Australia is just completely bombed out.
Yes.
Like,
there's nothing.
Yeah,
It's just a wasteland now.
yeah. There's no coastal cities.
Nope.
Like even that's just desert straight up to whatever water's
Yep,
remaining.
Exactly.
But I mean, the funny part is like in describing it is that you kind of look at this as like George Miller like saw like Waterworld
That's what.
and
yeah.
was like, nah, this is the way you do that
And,
movie.
That's another reason this movie is perfect. Is he doesn't just focus on like the kid. Now he expanded on this one, like you just called it, corner of the wasteland
Right.
with 3 different hubs. and the trading that goes on with it, and the negotiating, and then you have
Which, like, you see Gastown and Fury Road, like that's where she's going
Right.
at the beginning,
Yes.
but then turns off before.
but that's it.
Yeah.
And we've seen Eden.
Right, we got to see it in Furiosa. We didn't
Correct.
get to see it in Fury
No,
Road.
it was gone.
Yeah.
I'm still working my way back through Fury Road. So yes, that we're just setting the scene, and he did that in the first act. So we're
Yeah.
5. Each one was named
Yeah.
Beyond Revenge.
Right, yeah, well, yeah. Usually when they start breaking it up into chapters, I start rolling my eyes.
So,
but
me too. Like I'm
it's-
thinking, okay, you're not Quentin Tarantino. Like I don't need chapters per
Yeah.
se, but the way he broke up her Odyssey, and I'm going to call that for the end of time. It's her Odyssey.
Sure. I mean, it's a synonym for saga. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. He did. He broke that up. So like the first part of the movie, it was a kid.
Right. That was like the first 3 chapters,
The
almost.
second chapter. Oh, you're right. Yeah.
'Cause
so
she's-
like
yeah.
Anna's only in
She's
the
still a kid when she's hiding out in the Citadel.
right, and then
Yeah.
she works her way up,
Yeah.
which is bonkers too.
Yeah.
So Dr. Dementus,
Yeah.
this motherfucker, I think he was built to play that shit heel guy.
Yeah.
Like
what?
he's really good at
But you
it.
got to be thinking Chris Hemsworth's been waiting. Well, like George Miller called you up and is like, I want you in my movie. And you're like,
Right.
yes.
And then he's gonna go, and you don't even have to look like yourself.
yeah.
Perfect. Sign me the fuck up.
And I saw in an interview his voice is it's how his grandfather sounded. Like,
Really?
yeah. So he's just not. He's hamming it up, doing like an old Australian, but
You held about them cards.
yeah,
Like,
it's almost
right?
Like, yeah.
He was fucking psychotic, and it was great. Lil D.
He did a wonderful job of bouncing back and forth between that. Like, you start thinking like, oh, like he might actually, okay, yeah, it's the wasteland. He's going to be
Right.
this shit person, but then like, when he does the little D, and you're going, okay, well maybe he's going to like protect this girl, and then we'll see like, okay, where's Immortal Joe going to come in on this?
Right. That's
But
exactly.
then it
what
was like, no, he uses everyone
he is a
to get whatever he
terrible person.
wants. Yeah.
Terrible person. And he wore a parachute for a cape. Like at one point, it looked like one of the tents was that parachute.
Yeah.
Like, so he's just, instead of carrying on a backpack or a bedroll or anything, he just wears a parachute.
Where's a tent?
Yeah. And then he has people stake it into the desert for him.
Yeah.
Fucking beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm trying to, and then
So
the,
then,
the part that still bothers me, and it's just
Okay.
it's just from like an icky standpoint, was when he gets to the Citadel, and he has that torture device hooked up to a spectrum,
oh yeah.
and his nipple rings, and then when it goes off, it rips all the piercings out.
Yeah, but you have to, George Miller must have an obsession with
I
that,
know,
because
yeah.
there's a guy who's playing with
That's
his
the
nipples
World Eater. Yeah.
the whole movie.
Yeah. But that,
The whole movie. He's just got.
But then it leads to that scene where like he's trying to barter his way out, and his
Yeah.
like nipples are just dripping blood.
bleeding.
It's like, the fuck is going on
It
here?
was wonderful.
But that, I mean, then when I go back and watch Fury Road, and there's the whole like mother's milk production,
Yes.
like, oh, and there's no explanation. It's just like it's just there. Like,
You don't
oh,
need an
no.
explanation. Like,
No.
why does Immortal Joe need all that stuff?
I don't know. I mean, there's one scene in Fury Road where you see him like being coated in talcum powder, but
So what,
before
is
they
he-
put on
he-
the casing. But yeah,
So what is he, sensitive to light?
I don't know. Like,
Well,
But-
his kids.
but like you said, it's like they only tell you what you need to know for the story. There's never this like. I guess maybe if they do, they'll do a background on Immortal Joe.
well, I want
But
to know
it'll take
how,
its own fucking movie.
I want to know how Scrotus and Rectus became grown humans. I need a Scrotus and Rectus movie.
But I'm trying to. Did Scrotus die in Furiosa? The butthead looking dude.
I don't know, because he wasn't in Fury Road,
Right.
where Nate Jones was.
Yeah, Rectus is. So.
And doesn't he say something about, you killed my brother in Fury Road?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess Beavis.
No, it's Butthead.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Butthead dies. Rectus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Rectus.
I just don't remember, but like we said after we saw the movie, like we're gonna have to go back and watch that one again. So.
Yeah, no, I do. Okay, now we'll just get to this motherfucker builds some of the most elaborate machines. Like,
Yeah.
I think he makes these movies, just so he could see how outlandish of a machine that he could build and then drive it through the desert as fast as it can go.
Well, and the irony is like George Miller is like a huge environmentalist, right?
Yeah.
So, which I mean makes sense when you
So,
think
like,
about it.
he
Like the
build-
world ends, and so people are just going to be like, let's just fucking
And
destroy
they
everything.
get to fucking in all kind of vehicles. Like now they had, and I know they've had the helicopter before, but yeah, the flying, just
Well, I was going to say the
genius ways, the inventive ways that he goes about.
well, and thinking back on it after rewatching Fury Road too is Fury Road had a lot of like because it was. I mean, once she gets in the truck, like it's all action, other than those couple of times that they have to stop
Right.
for like water or like to take off their chastity belts and
A
shit.
hose broke or something. Yeah.
But and so there wasn't a whole lot of wide shots. In Furiosa, he had these like I said, Lawrence of Arabia desert shots that were fucking gorgeous. His cinematographer should at least be up, in my mind, should be up for a nod on that.
And don't he still had those super tight cuts.
Right, for the action.
Right, but the transitions.
Yeah, you had. I mean, when like Dementis is rolling up on one of the towns, or
and it was just like,
and you see like just the cloud following like the V coming in, and it's just like but you see the whole fucking desert. It's not like we're just going to do this tight shot.
You see, everything,
which is what obviously a budget and a little bit more CGI offers him to do, but it was seamless. Like,
okay, well,
and you don't expect to like be watching that movie and be taken to like that kind of looks like one of the greatest epic movies of all time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie. 10 out of 10 would recommend. We haven't even talked on her mentor, who was Mad Max Jace, and that's the one thing I couldn't get past was.
Well, and that actor is, it doesn't bother me. It's just it's weird because he's a British actor.
Yeah, he
looks like Stacy Keach, that American actor who had the cleft palate too.
Yes.
But they're like almost identical, but they're not related at all. But I've seen that.
He bothered me.
Yeah, he's a very brutish actor. So I think,
is that what it is?
I think he gets because he's got 30 seconds. He does the that crime series that J.K. Rowling wrote under a pseudonym.
Yeah.
So and they made a show. It's on Max. He's the title guy on that, and he's still kind of that. He's very just one line-ish. Yeah. So
I mean, don't get me wrong, it was great, but at least they didn't fuck or anything dumb like that.
yeah. No, you don't. Well, that's the other part I like about George. Like he's not gonna be like, hey, let's just have a sex.